Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently in a bit of a holding pattern here as we manage to get all of this cored up, if I recall correctly. Actually, we have gotten it cored up. I probably should have checked that. However, we do not have a royal marriage with Pate over here, and we should definitely go ahead and do that. Wonderful. That boosts us up to 158 opinion. We need to get to 190, so that is fine. Now we are drilling over here. We do have some rebel factions potentially brewing, and that's mostly just in Agadine and Habyo. Okay. So, I mean, that is up in this region, right? Yeah, there's Habyo there and Agadine here. Which one has the higher development? Okay. They're the same. Sounds good. Well, the Marahan Separatists are at 50%. When are they likely to be popping? 4.5 years? 5.5 years? 6 years? I don't think that any of these are realistically going to be popping. Okay. We do want to be finishing up our colony over here. This will be done in a couple more years, actually. Looks like we had a spread modifier expire. That's fine. We are currently maxed on manpower, and we should continue to expand out our cannon here. And how many more cannon can we get if we had the cash, which we don't currently. But our land force limit is 37, so we can get an additional 12 cannon. Fantastic. So that'll be up to 13 cannon. It's not quite full width, but it'll do for now. And that seems just fine. So we're currently making about half a ducat per month because we are... Ooh, our trader just died. Okay. Now we're making a lot more. 3.9 monthly. I think that we should probably just grab this trade efficiency guy for now. He's a lot cheaper. And yeah, we're going to be lacking on the diplomatic power, but for right now, that's okay. All we're working on at this exact moment is the corruption. And I do want to check in on the status of Renaissance. Okay. So it's just peeking in up here, as we previously saw. Fantastic. We're making pretty good progress over here as well. We're about 70% of the way done with this colony. That's fantastic. These are likely going to finish up at roughly the same time, aren't they? Well, that's quite the timing. We may need to find a job for him indeed. He would, of course, be just a level 2 version of what we've got right now. We don't really have the cash to pull that off at this moment, I don't think. So we're just going to continue rooting out corruption. In fact, can we just max this and still be making money? Yes, we can, and so we shall. Our corruption is going to need to drop by another 1.8 before we finish our agenda for the burgers, which here is actually merchant guilds, but that's fine. So that'll take a little time, and our manpower cap is raising, of course, as we are bringing down the autonomy in these areas. Unrest here is now down to 8.2. Okay. That's getting a little bit better. What is the actual unrest here when we don't count the friendly troops? Okay. It should be reasonably fine. Yeah, there's... Ooh, army professionalism. We're going to take this. Fantastic. And we're going to move these guys up to Agadine. We're going to move these guys over to Habyo because of the supply limit. Okay. Yeah, we've suffered casualties, and that is, again, because of the supply limit. We're just going to hop over to Habyo, and we will chill there. We can invest in an idea. We can grab factories, but I think that we're better off grabbing Admin Tech 6 right now, and that is what we're going to save for. Excellent. We're going to continue to drill here for now. And that will reduce our unrest there pretty dramatically. So now it's going to be the Agadine Separatists, most likely. That's 6.6 years away. So hopefully that won't happen. Actually, the Marahan Separatists are 4.6 years away. Rwanda wants a royal marriage. We'll go ahead and allow that. What are they thinking about our economy at this point? 59 reasons. Okay, that's getting better. And in fact, how many more reasons do we need? 18 total. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So that's fine for now. We are going to want to start annexing these guys fairly soon. How much is that going to cost? 61. That's not too bad. Fantastic. So we need to wait for their opinion to come up just a little bit more here. And that shouldn't take too much longer. Just, I think, 2 more month ticks. Yeah, 2 more month ticks should do the trick. Fantastic. And then we'll begin annexing them. They will give us these guys. We don't really care about these troops. We'll probably just disband them. Now, what do we need to be able to regain manpower when disbanding? 60% army professionalism. Okay, that's going to take a while. That's fine. But that would be a nice thing to have. We could do state firearm regiments, but at this time, it's not worth the land maintenance modifier. That will become a thing later on, though. Okay. We are currently down to 10.97 corruption, meaning we are under a year away from finishing our agenda. That is fantastic. And we need to start thinking about whether we want to push up into, like, Warsangali here. Technically, we do. Because we ultimately want to go for Marahan. These guys are allied with Mara, Agadine, and Harar. Okay. So Agadine is over here. We don't necessarily know where all of those others are. They're up in this region somewhere. We're definitely pushing our way up there nicely. How are we doing over on these colonies? Ooh, 2 settlers away from finishing this one. And there it is. Excellent. So we'll go ahead and core that. And we're also going to recall this colonist. And we're going to send him over to this uncolonized land to start a new colony. We need to continue working our way down here as quick as we can. We can currently afford to have 2 colonies at a time. So that is fine. This one will be done soon enough. It's growing at 70 per year, which is not bad, I gotta say. That's really, really not bad. And there we go. Fantastic. A new colony has been started. We could boost our stability. There's no point in doing that, in my opinion, right now. We do want to grab this admin tech 1507 for that. Yeah, I mean, that'll continue to get cheaper as our corruption drops as well. And yeah, I'll do this royal marriage. That'll be fine. So Burundi, we probably want to annex somewhat soon-ish. As far as Nakor goes, we really need to vassalize Rwanda first. And yeah, those rebel uprisings are brewing. We should probably stop drilling and move down towards where these are going to pop, which is going to be where exactly? It is going to be in... Okay, so it's going to be just... Where is this? I actually don't know where Garu is. Oh, right up here. We're literally right next to it. This is fine. We're just going to stay put. Excellent. Apparently I'm blind. Well, that's not new news. We're going to go ahead and recruit a cannon, though. Get ourselves those sweet, sweet fire phases. And that'll be just fine. Of course, we're banking our diplomatic power right now. We can store up to 1727. And we're doing that to drop our corruption so that we no longer have those power cost increases. And that'll be absolutely fine. So we're currently making 1 ducat per month, even while fully rooting out corruption. I love it. That is absolutely wonderful. The Age of Discovery is ending in about 10 years. That's okay. And we're going to drop down very shortly here. Okay, so we can summon a new deity. Okay. Maybe. Well, that was just the influence modifier. Yeah, we need to end the agenda to be able to do that. That makes sense. That's completely fine, and that agenda will be ending on the next month tick, I believe. Boom. That should be it. Excellent. So 10% trade efficiency and minus 0.25 interest per annum. I mean, we don't have loans right now, so the interest per annum isn't helpful. But we'll go ahead and summon them again, and what do they want to do? Build a manufactory. Do we have the tech for that? Yes, we could build an impressment office. I feel like that's not a great thing to build, though. We don't really need the sailors right now. We're not focused on building ships. We'll get there, but right now that's not a huge deal. So these guys want us to do what? Annex Burundi. Okay, that's not the worst idea. Or build a dock or a dry dock. Well, we're going to annex Burundi. That's going to be what we'll do. So that is our agenda, and to that end, we're going to go ahead and royal marry them. And we're going to pull these guys back. We can begin this annexation over here, which I do want to do. There we go, and that's going to cost 5 per month. That is completely fine. We're also going to need to go improve relations over here. And so we shall. Excellent. Great Lakes region trade power reduction. Do we care about that? Honestly, no. Everything's flowing this way anyway. So we'll just take the absent merchant. That's fine. That doesn't actually affect our trade at all, so I'm okay with it. We're going to have these rebel uprisings soon. We're just going to walk up over here, actually. And let's see if we can get them to pop. Yeah, we're going to take attrition here because of the supply limit. But I think I'm actually just going to provoke them. 10 regiments. I don't care. That's fine. Okay, get out of here, you jerks. Got those fire phases, but unfortunately we don't have very powerful fire phases yet. We'll get there, but that is not the case just yet. We're going to go back to drilling in Hobyo for now. We'll go ahead and recall our Mogadishan diplomat. Excellent. Because we have gotten ourselves up to plus 67 here. And once he gets back, we'll go ahead and royal marry them, because they are now loyal. That is fantastic. There we go. Getting ourselves some nice expansion going on here. And yeah, that improved relation can come up quite a bit over here in Burundi. So we're expecting this to cost 95 to annex Burundi. That'll be fine. No big deal there. We're still going up even while annexing the other nations, so that's perfectly okay. Our queen consort has impressed many men and women at court with her sharp wit and extensive knowledge of the natural world. She's long been a collector of tomes on botany and chemistry, and she corresponds with several of our generation's brightest minds. Currently, one of those scientists are visiting our court as per our queen consort's invitation. They can be found discussing all sorts of new theories far into the wee hours of the night. Queen consort Aishing has asked us to make the scientist an offer, claiming that she would make a much better advisor than the theologian Mukazyulu we currently employ. Okay, so who is our current theologian? We need to go into here. That's this guy. We're paying him 6 gold per month. He has a skill 3 with the -2 national unrest. Now, it is likely that the scientist would be better for us here. Production efficiency, okay. Following the Sunni faith. Or we could gain 50 admin power. I expect this cost to be about the same, and production efficiency is actually quite good for us. So how much would it cost us to implement this? 94.3. It is the same cost, but that's quite a lot of gold. At least it is for now, until our corruption goes away. I mean, we could debase our currency, but that's a terrible idea right now, I feel like. So we're not going to do that. We'll just save up the cash, and we have this rebel uprising brewing. We'll just go ahead and disable our army drilling. That is fine. We're up to 149 with Burundi. Fantastic. And once we regenerate our morale a little bit, we'll just provoke these guys, I think. Like, I want to just kill them. It won't be a problem. It'll be 10 regiments, no big deal. It's not like we're short on manpower or anything, so that will be completely fine. One more month tick, I think, to get us the morale we need. And then we'll provoke this. Any moment now. There we go. Now I'm comfortable with it. And we'll just go ahead and do this. Yeah, our morale is not maxed out, so it's a little slower than it could have been. We lost a few more troops than we had to, but that's okay. And then all we've got is the Agadine Separatists. Now, that's a low supply limit over there. You know what? Let's just walk over there. We'll arrive there when? After at least 1 month tick. Okay. So these guys have been annexed, and we're going to go ahead and delete their army. However, look at that. They brought in a navy. We have a navy now. We have 3 cogs, and we have 3 barks. So 3 light ships and 3 transports. I shouldn't have grouped these together. We're just going to split them back up. We'll put these guys, I guess, into protecting trade for right now. We can't explore, so that's fine. I think all we're going to do is... Ooh, Gulf of Aden. That's solid profit. Let's do it. Okay, we're on our way up over here, and we'll arrive there on 19 January. Let's go ahead and provoke these guys as well. Wonderful. Should be no problem here. And we'll just get all of that dealt with. Now we're going to head back over this way and drill. That'll be perfectly fine. We're losing money right now because we're reinforcing our army. That's completely fine and expected. That will change here in a moment, and we'll just go ahead and enable drilling there. Excellent. So once we finish our reinforcement, we should, and that'll be 2 more month ticks like this. Once we finish our reinforcement, we should be back positive. Yeah, we're already back positive. We haven't fully reinforced, but we're very close. Sounds good. So our corruption is down to 8.71. We're nearly done with that. That is wonderful. We're still banking up our dip power, and that is fine. Over here, we're down to 136 because we did just annex our vassal, and that's to be expected. We're going to grab our Admin Tech 6, which will allow us to build workshops. Now, with regards to these workshops, I want us to see... Yeah, that's just what I expected. Yeah, that's what I expected there. And let's see here. Yep, okay. So the tooltips were just a little weird then. Sounds good. Sounds good. Gain 2 base manpower in Zimbabwe. Yeah, I don't know why the tooltip is saying that. Because that's strange. But okay. We don't seem to be gaining base levels for the tech, and maybe it's still in the actual structure, but it doesn't show up in the tooltip if so. So, there's that. However, we can now build regular manufactories. So that's the thing. They're very expensive, but they are something that we want to invest in. As of right now, our corruption is still where most of our money is going, but we'll be getting rid of that very shortly. Only about 8 more years of that, and we should probably consider going back to war soon. I would be interested in potentially attacking Warsangali. Mara, Agadine, and Harar. Yeah, they're definitely all up in this area. I mean, I would love to just attack Marahan. I don't suppose these guys would give us military access. Actually, they would. That's very surprising. It's spreading here now as well. Okay. That sounds absolutely wonderful. We're going to want to increase our institution spread eventually. But we're starting to see it. And that is great. How are things going over here? 966, so under a year before this colony is done. That's great. Natal is barely started, but we're just going to keep going down this direction. And once we get here, hopefully we get there before the Europeans show up, then we'll have all of this cut off, and we can just colonize in here, and we can do inland colonization. That is going to be a very useful thing for us. And that is wonderful. We're going to be able to colonize here so that we can move in this direction, and there's just going to be so many more options. But we have to get this done first. We could think about starting up a third colony once we get our corruption down. That's an option. But I think right now what we need to focus on most in terms of expansion is getting Renaissance spreading in our territories, which means we need to conquer to the north. We don't have a lot of vision on what's up there, but that's okay. We know that Agadine is right here, and we know that Mara is, well, we're going to get vision on their capitals, so I think this is fine. Let's go ahead and move up to Hobyo. And I don't think we're going to have any issues with these guys up here. So we'll just let our morale regenerate, and we should also start doing some... At least 72 reasons. However, 73 of those are economic base. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's go ahead and start building a spy network on them. Excellent. So Rwanda, how are you doing these days? Ooh, our colony over here is self-sustaining. That is perfect. That means that we do need to core that. That is already a territorial core, but now it's an instant core. And we're just going to go ahead and recall our settler here. And we're going to send him over here. Magnificent. You can see we are making a lot more gold with only one colony, but we're trying to spread this fairly quickly. So down he goes. We'll get a couple of month ticks at this lower amount. That's perfectly fine. In fact, we should keep these guys drilling for a bit because it's going to take time to get our spy network up here built. But we definitely want to expand up this way to get ourselves some Renaissance going. And that is wonderful. As our corruption continues to drop, it's getting cheaper and cheaper to do development over here. You can see that this is now down to 61 to develop our production here. So that is wonderful. It's 80 here, but that is mostly because of the abandoned ruins. Nobility gaining influence and loyalty at the cost of merchant estate losing loyalty. Army professionalism is awful good, and the nobility losing influence would be important to us, I think. We're going to do this. Although that will drop the nobility estate down below 30. We have to keep that in mind. That will just be a disloyal, though, not an instant rebellion the way that seizing land would. So yeah, that's going to drop down, but they'll go back up over 30 pretty quickly, so that should, in theory, be okay. We can grab a diptech. I'm not going to do this at this time. And we're just going to work on getting ourselves some Renaissance before we do additional technological spending. With the possible exception of military. Bishubi has some unrest. I don't think that's going to be a problem, ever. So, let's see here. Burundi, you're at 171. That can continue to be increased a little bit, but we need to get that up to 190 to annex them. So that'll still take some time. I definitely do want to get... Ooh, that's down to 57 now. Yeah, these costs are reducing pretty dramatically, and that's great. Our corruption is down to 7.03. So we're still about 7 years away at this point from getting all that done. Does this say when we're going to cap our power? It does not. But it's 1678, and we should be fine, especially since we're going to be annexing Burundi quite soon. So that's good. We're very, very pleased about what's going on right now. We are almost done with our corruption, which is magnificent. Our manpower is over cap. Oh, okay. That's cool, I guess. What do we get from level 2 here? Technology cost is nice. Yeah, minus 10% overall technology cost. That's pretty important. We should probably work on that, but that's very expensive. We'll see about saving up for that a little later on. We only need some 4 additional colonies over here to finish cutting off Europe from South Africa. That is magnificent. And then we can also grab, like, this over here, but that's actually in Terra Incognita, this island. Interesting. We would need to explore that. That's something that we can do. But it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But before I do that, we're going to start annexing Burundi. While we're waiting for our opinion to get up just a tiny bit higher, I will say you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And let's get that one final month tick here. I'm actually going to bump it up to speed 5 for the month tick. There we go. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and annex these guys. Perfect. And now, I will see you all next time.